The jealousy is real. The jealousy is real. And I'm not just talking about the overwhelming jealousy that dump divers in the WNBA feel towards the Roo from Waterloo. I'm starting to wonder, and I mentioned this a couple of weeks ago, I'm starting to wonder if there's a little bit of jealousy, maybe a little bit of resentment that is building towards Angel Reese.
Angel Reese walked into the WNBA All-Star party like it was her big moment, but things didn't go as planned. Instead of a warm welcome, she found herself benched, blocked, and quickly shown the door. The league's biggest stars weren't exactly impressed, they were unimpressed. So what happens when social media stardom runs into real-deal basketball legends? Let's just say, it wasn't a smooth mix. From cold shoulders to flat-out rejection, Angel's night turned into a not-so-subtle reality check. Get ready, this story gets messy fast.
Goes. She finished 5th overall in fan voting, 10th among all voting once you factored in, but only 12th among the media and the players. So the players actually rated Caitlin Clark higher than Angel Reese, which I think is interesting, although certainly it's deserved. But I will say, Angel Reese, Ronnie and I have debated it on the program. Ronnie has been pretty clear that he thinks that she sucks at basketball. I have defended her as having dimensions of her game that are high level. I got to a point here a couple of weeks ago where I was starting to wonder if she actually sucked or not, but she has put together an impressive streak here over her last 4 games.
If I were a WNBA player, I'd probably be frustrated too. But not Caitlin Clark. She's keeping her cool. Meanwhile, Angel Reese is landing magazine covers, sneaker deals, and soaking up non-stop media attention. But for what, exactly? Sitting on the bench and throwing side-eye? If getting praise with minimal effort were a sport, she'd be putting up superstar numbers. And while she's in the spotlight, the real MVPs, the players who've been working hard for years, can't even snag a simple Gatorade ad. This isn't just envy. It's world-class frustration.
Well, this is very interesting. And certainly a plot twist from last season. And I'm talking about the mainstream media, the sports media, and their love affair with Angel Reese. Now, we know the media jumped through hoops, gymnastics, mental gymnastics. I mean, however you try to put it, they tried to raise up Angel Reese last year as being, of course, she's running neck and neck with Caitlin Clark for the Rookie of the Year.
Let's be honest, Angel Reese is starting to feel like that one person in a group project who shows up late, says one thing, and still gets credit for the whole presentation. And somehow, people are loving it. It's like we're watching a strange celebration of doing the bare minimum, where flashy social media moments matter more than, say, actually making a jump shot. The basics? Apparently optional. These days, all it takes is a vague tweet and you're trending.
The problem is, the words from jealous WNBA players do not match up with their actions. They say one thing, and then they go and do another. And I'm starting to wonder if that same jealousy, that same resentment, I'm starting to wonder if it's building towards Angel Reese.
Now here's where things really get awkward. It's like the whole league is treating Caitlin Clark as if she exposed some big secret, as if she's the reason people haven't been tuning in for the past 20 years. Reality check, Clark didn't cause the ratings slump. All she did was show up, shine a light, and suddenly everyone noticed the dust. But instead of fixing things, the WNBA seems more upset with the person holding the flashlight.
Both impact the game. My teammates are saying Caitlin Clark moves the needle on basketball, right? Versus Angel, who moves the needle on viewership, on interest, on engagement. No one can deny that because she's on McDonald's bags, because she has her own podcast, because she's at the Met Gala, because she's transcending the sport and she's showing girls femininity. My sister don't play basketball, no Angel Reese. My sister don't play basketball. She knows Caitlin Clark too.
Would Angel Reese be on a McDonald's bag if she was not a champion averaging a double-double?
Nah, bro. I'm gonna get up because I don't.
So you're saying Angel.
The resentment? It's heavy, you can feel it in every post-game interview. It's like watching backup dancers get mad that the spotlight isn't on them, even though the star actually earned it with record-breaking numbers, not with TikTok fame or a viral side-eye. Yet somehow, Angel Reese is being treated like the league's golden girl, while Caitlin Clark is getting fouled like there's no rulebook and no refs. If I were in that locker room, I wouldn't be jealous of Clark, I'd be frustrated that someone averaging single digits is being celebrated like the future of the league. Reese is getting the crown for average play, while Clark is getting punished for being too good. It's like the WNBA's logic flipped upside down and forgot how to land, and here's the real twist, deep down, everyone knows Clark is the main reason the league isn't on life support. She's the one filling seats and driving ratings. But instead of giving her credit, or at least laying off the rough treatment, they've cast her as the villain. The outsider. The rookie who had the nerve to be skilled, popular, and marketable. Imagine that, being too successful is now a problem.
WNBA All-Star starters were released and people are pissed. This is how votes were cast. 50% was fan vote, 25% was media, and the remaining 25% was current players. One person that was not one of the 10 starters selected, Angel Reese. Now, Angel was actually 5th among frontcourt players in the fan voting, but she didn't even rank inside the top 10 in current player or media voting. The top vote getter was unsurprisingly Caitlin Clark with over 1.2.
Let's be real, they can't say it out loud, but without Caitlin Clark, the WNBA wouldn't be getting primetime on ESPN. It would be back to fighting for airtime between cornhole tournaments and axe-throwing contests. But sure, let's all pretend that Angel Reese being unapologetically herself is what's driving the league forward. Meanwhile, the only thing rising lately is the number of times she's getting blocked at the rim. And those interviews? Every time Reese speaks, it's like a mix of self-help guru and fashion influencer, with just enough attitude to make headlines. It's marketing magic. She's racking up endorsement deals faster than she's putting up points. You've got veteran players watching all this, probably wondering if they should have spent more time curating a brand and less time perfecting their footwork. But the league? They're eating it up, because this story is a lot easier to sell than the uncomfortable truth. The WNBA's years of marketing missteps got rescued by a white shooter from Iowa with deep range and mass appeal.
17-5, and you may be saying to yourself, well, how many of those 17 rebounds a game are me-bounds? Is she just standing there rebounding at all of her own misses and padding her stats? Only 6 me-bounds in the last 4 games. So even if we discount the me-bounds, she's averaging 16 boards a game over her last 4 games, and she became the first player in WNBA history to put together 4 straight 15-plus rebound games.
You might be wondering, out of those 17 rebounds a game, how many are just her grabbing her own missed shots? Well, in the last 4 games, Angel Reese only had 6 of those so-called me-bounds. Even if you take those out, she's still averaging 16 rebounds per game. And more importantly, she just became the first player in WNBA history to record 4 straight games with 15 or more rebounds. That's no small feat, but while Reese is making headlines for her hustle, it's Caitlin Clark who's pulling the entire league into the spotlight, one highlight play at a time. Without her, those sold-out arenas would start echoing again, and here's the twist, if Clark ever got tired of being the league's crash test dummy, packed her bags, and took her talents overseas, she wouldn't just be accepted, she'd be celebrated. European leagues would welcome her with open arms, throw in a tax-free contract, and probably name a dessert after her. She'd be scoring 40 a night and sipping espresso in Milan. Clark could walk away tomorrow, and the headlines would follow her, not the league. She is the moment. Right now, the WNBA feels like a leaky umbrella trying to contain a storm it didn't create. What's shocking is the league's refusal to just admit it. Yes, she's great. And yes, we need her. Instead, we get passive-aggressive fouls and thinly veiled jabs. The whole thing is starting to feel less like professional sports and more like a high school hallway, where popularity is only acceptable if it fits the preferred mold.
Came into the season, the media tried to put Angel Reese amongst the best players again. And then she promptly went out and stunk it up. All right, and stunk it up. Now, she's had a couple of good games as of late, but every time she has a good game, she has a horrific game. And her field goal percentage is down this year. And imagine I just said that. Her field goal percentage has dropped this year versus last year. That's right, she's a worse shooter.
At the start of the season, the media tried to hype Angel Reese as one of the best players again, but then she went out and struggled on the court. Sure, she's had a few good games lately, but just as often, she's had some really rough ones. Her shooting percentage has actually dropped compared to last year. Yep, that's right, her field goal percentage is down, and that's a tough fact to ignore.
For those that don't know, the WNBA released their All-Star starters for the 2025 WNBA All-Star Game hosted in Indiana this year. And baby, I'm not gonna lie, a few people don't deserve to be on here. So just to give you guys context with it, when the first returns came back on the fan voting and I saw that Skylar Diggins was ranked 24th, I was sick. Sick to my stomach because Skylar Diggins has been playing as the best point guard in the league to start out this year. It's no way she should have been ranked at the 24th spot. This is a player that is currently averaging 18 points per game, 2 rebounds, 6 assists, while shooting 46% from the floor.
Caitlin Clark is like the new kid who showed up with straight A's and scholarship offers from every college. And of course, some people aren't happy she's not sitting with the losers. But fans see right through it. They know who's really playing and who's just pretending. Clark's highlight reels don't lie, her stepbacks are deadly, and her passes are pure art. The bitterness behind the scenes isn't quiet anymore. It's loud, and it's dragging the whole league down. Maybe if the WNBA spent half the energy it wastes on petty grudges on real marketing, they wouldn't have to lean so heavily on Clark as their last hope. If they actually celebrated her instead of punishing her, the league could grow together, but no, it's easier to act like she's the problem, even though she's the only one making things work right now.
The greatest myth in the WNBA dump has officially been exposed. The myth of all myths. The deception of deceptions. La mentira de las mentiras for those who prefer Espanol. Or as fake gangster Ja Morant would say, the cap of caps. For the better part of 2 years, maybe even 3 years, the mainstream media has been trying to convince us that Angel Reese is a huge star.
So if Caitlin Clark ever decides to say, "I'm done," and takes off for Spain or Turkey, don't be shocked. Don't write long articles wondering what went wrong, you already know. Everyone knows the uncomfortable truth deep down. Without Clark, this league isn't just struggling, it's halfway to falling apart. If Angel Reese had focused on her game instead of the spotlight, there might be something real to build on. But she took a different path. She could have put in the work, improved her post moves, stopped fouling out like it was a habit, and maybe become a true force the league could count on. But that takes effort, humility, and keeping quiet when you're benched, not tweeting every time you get replaced by someone who doesn't turn the ball over as much. Instead, she built her brand on being defiant, not dominant. Now she's in the All-Star game, not because of her numbers, but because she's trending like a meme that won't go away. But the real shakeup? That's the Clark effect.
I was gonna ask your take on Caitlin Clark and Angel Reese.
Oh Lord.
Mm-hmm.
She put her hands on his desk. Lord, give me strength.
It's a really nuanced situation.
Mm-hmm.
I think that Caitlin brings out this real, like, how do I say this and not get canceled? She brings out this energy from people that she needs to be protected.
The same WNBA players who roll their eyes whenever Caitlin Clark's name comes up are the very ones guarding her like she's Diana Taurasi channeling Steph Curry. They say she's all hype, but the moment she gets the ball, suddenly 5 defenders remember every defensive rule in the book. They swarm her like she insulted their entire family. Funny, isn't it? She's ranked 9th best point guard, yet the whole league doubles her at half court like she's the final boss in a video game. If she's really not that good, why is she treated like she's holding the Infinity Gauntlet? You'd think a 9th-ranked player would get a casual defense, a lazy hand in her face. Instead, players close out on her like she owes them money. They know Clark's presence makes every game feel bigger. They know ESPN magically remembers the WNBA exists when she's on the court. They know those packed arenas aren't filled with Reese jerseys, and no matter how much they pretend, no matter how many elbows fly or cold shoulders get served, they all know the future isn't with their bitterness. It's stepping back beyond the arc, sinking 3 after 3, right in their faces.
That double-double, she got it, sure. That title, sure.
she was purposely missing shots at some point to be able to get the rebound.
Did she tell you that?
And if I saw it, and my thing is that if those were intentional shots, she shouldn't be in the WNBA at all. Yeah, I don't know about top 10.
Okay, fair. But based off of you watching her and you saying that you feel as though that she were intentionally missing shots as a professional basketball player and that she shouldn't be in the WNBA if she were taking those shots anyways or whatever. All of these are feeling based. At the end of the day, the numbers are what they are. And those double-doubles have translated into championships on every level that Angel has played on.
Reese and Caitlin Clark has gotten way out of control.
Yeah.
Angel is a great player. Caitlin is also a great player. They're not the same type of player, and they're starting their careers.
Yeah.
Angel really upset people with how she taunted Caitlin after the championship, as she should. And if a man did it, we wouldn't have even talked about it.